This is AmateurLogic, episode 79 for June 2015. Well, Tommy, I think maybe it's time that we'll get on into some of the segments here that people have been tuning in to see. You got something new recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. When I was at Dayton, I got well, here, take a look. I have what I think some good information for you guys this month. A lot of you know I use a DV Mega. I also use my DVAP inside of my DHAP. It's almost a tongue twister. But I've got this from Hardened Power Systems. You've seen it on the show before. It's got the voltage readout. There's a battery inside. Came with a charger. You can charge it up and take it with you anywhere. But with the popularity of the DV Mega, Hardened Power Systems has come up with another device called the DAP Mini Mega. It's a neat little device. It doesn't come with the battery and charger like the other one did, but it's got the same basic features. Got the voltage readout. There's a power switch on the bottom, antenna jack, power jack for a 2-amp power supply that I ordered off of Amazon.com for just a few bucks. It was pretty cheap. It also comes with a standoff to hold the Pi in place and secure the DV Mega board and the screws to attach all of it. My DV Mega I've had for a while. It's one of the first ones, I think, and I've got it on an old Raspberry Pi Model B, the 512 meg version, and it doesn't actually fit in the new box. This box was designed for a B plus or a Raspberry Pi 2, and I happen to have a brand new Raspberry Pi 2 here still in the box that we're going to use today to get that going. So I spent a lot of time on my image on my SD card. It's an 8 gig card, and I went through all the steps on the show here. You saw it, and got it set up just like I wanted, and I've been using it pretty much the same way since I did it. It's been super reliable. I want to use this case. One thing I didn't mention is it has a place to put some lithium-ion batteries. So I ordered 4 of them, and they're an odd size. I haven't done anything with them before. They're 18650s, and I got 4,000 amp hour lithium ions, and they'll snap right into the top here. You can use either 2 or 4, and I went ahead and got 4 for the maximum capacity. So what I want to do is I want to take this image, back it up, and put it on this other 8 gig micro SD card that fits in my Pi 2, since the larger SDs won't fit in there. Now I've got a little bit of an issue. This one actually shows up as, I believe it's 7.9 gigabytes available, and this one shows up as 8.1. So I'm hoping if I restore this that it's going to work, because this card is not nearly full. Today I'm going to use Apple Pi Baker, and it's kind of like Win32 Disk Imager for you Windows users. I believe it'll work the same way. So let's give it a go. I'm going to go ahead and back up and restore the card. Let's pick the right disk and give it a name and the location. Now let's eject the card and put the new card in. Now let's find the file we saved and click restore, and we're good to go. Okay, now that's done. You saw there was a warning about the size, and I knew that was coming, so let's see if it'll boot up before I go to the trouble of mounting it into the box. To test it out, I've got an HDMI cable run over to my TV, and I'm going to plug it up just so I can see if it boots. And I've got my dongle for my Wi-Fi keyboard. I'm going to use the Wi-Fi dongle that I've been using with my DV Mega that's already set up for this image. So that should make all the hardware happy. So let's put the SD card in. And there we go. Now let's power up and see if it boots up. And voila, it did boot up, and I see my applications already running. Well, that proves out that that is going to work. So now that it's down, I'll remove the power, remove the HDMI cable since we're finished with that. And let's go ahead and mount it in our new DHAP Mini Mega. Hardened Power Systems did a really nice job designing this box. Everything fits in pretty nicely. Now, one concern I had with mine was, if you'll take a close look at it, you'll see that the antenna connector comes out of mine at a right angle where the newer ones come straight up. I did buy another connector in case I needed to swap it out, but I don't think I'm going to have to unsolder that and put a new one on. And we'll remove the DV Mega from the old Raspberry Pi. And again, here's what I was talking about mine coming out at an angle. It wouldn't be that hard of a job to unsolder those 5 little pins right there and replace it, but I think we may get by without that. First of all, it did come with some instructions about the external power, about the batteries, the voltmeter, and a little quick diagram on how to install it, and it's pretty self-explanatory. First thing we're going to have to do is make sure we have this power connector attached, because once you put the board in, it's going to be pretty impossible to get that on there. So let's do that first, and let's fit the Pi down inside the box. And it's snug, so you're going to have to work with it a little bit, but it will go. One thing I like about it, everything's a really nice, tight, and secure fit. You can tell it was designed exactly with the right tolerances. There we go. Had one of the power leads under the corner of my board. Pay attention to the diagram. It shows the length of the screws that go in which holes. So don't mess that up, because they're only going to fit the right way. So what we're going to do is get the screws out. We've got a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put the 1/4 inch in first. And we've got the antenna turned this way so the diagram matches. Let's figure out how the standoff for the DV Mega is going to fit. It should fit right across here perfectly. And then the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch screws are going to hold it all in place. So let's go ahead and put those in. If you drop the screw, it's probably not going to work out well, because you may have to take it apart to get the screw out from under the board. So be careful about that. Okay, the black clip actually took the 2 1/2 inch screws, not a 1/4 and a 1/2. So my bad on that. It's such a tight fit, it's a little bit tedious to put it together, to get everything in there, but it can be done. Now if that's done, let's plug our little DV Mega board on, and it'll go right here on the end, on the same pins as before. First of all, because mine has the angle adapter on it, I'm going to go ahead and screw the antenna connector on to make sure that I don't get myself in a bind. And to put it kind of snug. Now let's go ahead and plug this on. I think I would have liked Phillips head screws on here just a little bit better, because these little Allen head wrenches here are so small, they're kind of hard for my hands to keep a grip of. But I mean, it's not a big deal. Just would have been a little bit easier to put together. I've already got my card in, but there is an access hole here for it. Okay, I've got a tight fit here, so I'm going to have to route my cables. And there we go. Let's put the antenna on. I couldn't get the the angle adapter to fit on tight so that my antenna would go on vertically. So there was a small gold lock washer behind it, so I pulled that off. Now let's see if that'll work. I bet you. It looks like we're going to have enough room now. Let's go ahead and use the AC power. I didn't really charge those batteries up. They just came straight from Amazon like that. So we'll go to the AC until I put them on charge good. Yeah. The power goes right here. One thing, let's don't forget our Wi-Fi dongle. I don't think I'm going to need the keyboard. I usually don't keep a keyboard attached to this one. So it's plugged in right there. And we should be good to go. I've got my handy talkie on and it's set up for my DV Mega. And let's hit the power. See what happens. $12 volts. Give it a second to boot up. I'm going to link to, let's just do 1 Charlie.
Link to REF001 Charlie.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I'll go ahead and update the distribution that I'm running using apt-get dist update, this command right here actually, and make sure I've got the latest kernel using the firmware update right here. Get more information on the DHAP Mini Mega over at Hardened Power Systems right here, and let me know what you think about it. It comes in other colors other than the yellow, but I kind of like the yellow. 73.
It's a nice looking little box, Tommy.
Yeah, it is nice, and the size is nice. I'll tell you, you know, I recommend the box for that usage. But a comment about it, it's so well made and detailed, and he made those apparently with a 3D printer. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like right on the edge. I do, because I don't think I could come up with the detail work like those guys did when they did that, but. The tolerances are so fine on it, and everything fits so perfect in the holes. We're perfectly lined up. It's pretty amazing that they did that.
Yeah, it did look pretty nice. You know, I saw it. You got it when we were in Dayton, and I looked at it there in the hotel room, and it was pretty slick looking. You need to go ahead and just break down and get that printer, I don't have to.
I really need to. I'm just dying to. But the box is pretty awesome.